We are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears as we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. This is the story about the ugly duckling and how she wanted to be beautiful. She wishes she could look like the beautiful swans she sees on her social media. She wanted to be an influencer, an internet star. She loved the beauty of the swans, with their fluffy white feathers and graceful long necks. To her, they were absolutely perfect. But she saw herself as the total opposite. When she looked in the mirror, she saw herself simply short, frumpy, and plain. She hated everything about herself. She felt ashamed. But she came up with a plan. She had some money saved up because she wanted to get breast implants. And since she was going to make that change, she thought, why not change her face? She would also have surgery to lose weight. She would look beautiful without having to wait. So she made a list of body parts she wanted to change. She would change her face, lips, teeth, elongate her neck, do her breasts, butt, and get liposuction. She would also bleach her feathers from yellow to white. She was determined she would look like the swans that she idolized. She was going to look just like them, even if she became something her family and friends wouldn't recognize. This is just a friendly reminder to please like and comment to let us know how we are doing so far. We would love to hear from you all. And if you're new, please subscribe and become a part of the PHS crew, and we thank you. She quickly made an appointment with a plastic surgeon to get the ball rolling. She just couldn't wait to see her new body and face. The day of her consultation with the surgeon, she had no hesitation. The surgeon told her everything she wanted to hear. He could reconstruct her face, ground down her teeth for veneers, and do injections to her lips. He can extend her neck, enhance her breasts. He could give her butt implants and perform liposuction on her stomach. All this made her glad, but the time frame was the only thing she wasn't happy with. The doctor told her,
"You have to understand, in between surgeries, your body needs to rest and heal. With all of the procedures you want, it can take up to a year."
The ugly duckling wasn't happy to hear this. She wanted all of the products done in a month, so she could start her influencer career. The plastic surgeon explained no reputable doctor would perform all these procedures in a few weeks. That is really dangerous to her body and psyche. But the ugly duckling didn't care about what the surgeon said. She was determined to have the procedure all done within a month. So she went home disappointed, but still yet determined. But to her dismay, she couldn't find a plastic surgeon that would give and do these things her way. The next day, she received an anonymous email. It was to a website that was on the dark web. She didn't even think about how they found her and how it seemed a little sus. But she didn't really care about the details. So she followed the directions to get to the website. But she could only access it exactly at midnight. So she waited, and when the clock turned 12, she was instantly there. She had to log in with a special code and a password. She had to answer a questionnaire and she will have to pass a background check. When she was done, they would get back to her in 24 hours to let her know when she could see a surgeon. The ugly duckling had a hard time falling asleep that night, just waiting for a response. She had visions swirling around in her head of looking just like a beautiful swan. She was excited every time she heard a ping. She would run to her computer to check for an email and a link. Exactly 24 hours later, she received the ping she was waiting for. She was happy because she couldn't wait anymore. When she opened the email, it said,
"Congratulations, you've been accepted as a patient. Please click the link, and the directions will tell you where to report."
The ugly duckling was so excited. She went to bed and woke up early. She was ready to go. She arrived in a really shady part of town. There were unscrupulous ducks hanging all around. She had to enter through a back door, through a back alleyway. The office on the inside was dimly lit and dirty, but the ugly duckling didn't seem to care. She was extremely happy. The staff took her straight to the back and got her prepped. They rolled her into a surgical room and placed her under anesthesia. When the ugly duckling finally woke up, she found herself alone in recovery, wrapped from head to toe in bandages. She was so sore, she could barely move. She was in so much pain, she didn't know what to do. A nurse came in and gave her some pain pills and told her to follow all the instructions when she made it home. But most of the things she needs to do, she needs someone to help. But she lived alone. She thought to herself, "It's okay. I don't need any help. I can do these things all by myself." So the nurse quickly discharged her from the clinic and called a cab to take her home. They were done and finished. The ugly duckling struggled on her own for days. She endured so much pain, but she thought to herself, "No pain, no gain." But she didn't know how wrong she was. But she thought, under her bandages, she would emerge a beautiful swan. She received an email from the clinic that she could start removing all her bandages from her face and body. She was so excited, she couldn't wait to see. She knew this was the beginning of her new life. This was the reason for her going quickly under the knife. But once she removed all the blood-soaked bandages, she discovered she was worse off. She was hideous. She had scars all over from her head to her toes. She looked like a monster. She wasn't happy with the results. She felt like Frankenstein's monster. She was just an amalgamation of parts. She couldn't believe her eyes. She wished she stayed the way she originally looked. She now knew she was better off. She quickly went back to her email and sent a message to the clinic. But her message wasn't going through. It wasn't sending. So she waited until midnight and logged back onto the dark web to see if she could find the page and to get some answers. But the page was no longer there. She even went back to the location where the clinic was. But when she went inside, the whole clinic was stripped and bare. The ugly duckling was completely distraught because she is now worse off. Now, the ugly duckling never leaves her house because of the scarring all over her body. She doesn't want to freak people out. Now, instead of feeling beautiful, she feels lost, alone, and miserable. All because she wasn't happy with herself. Now she is stuck in a real nightmare. And the moral of this tale is, beauty is only skin deep. You need to get to know yourself, love, and be proud of what you see. Because there is so much more to you that is happening underneath. Or you can end up like the ugly duckling, who now sees herself as a sideshow freak.